Kelsey right here with South by Southwest. Join me on the red carpet for the premiere of The Gutter, starring Shameik Moore and Susan Sarandon. Tell me a little bit about your character Walt and what made you want to play him.
I was looking forward to playing a goofball, man. You know, just want to make people laugh. I wanted to try to make myself laugh. It's hard to do that. It's hard for me to watch comedies, honestly. I like psychological thrillers and very serious things. But I love stand-up when it's Cat Williams, or Dave Chappelle. So I gave it a shot. I was like, let's peel it back, and that's what I was looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to today, to see if I'm funny or not. It's vulnerable.
I'm sure you nailed it. Were there any comedic inspirations or characters that you drew from to create this character?
Maybe I played in this show called Incredible Crew, and I was 16 on Cartoon Network, and I think Walt definitely reminds me of that character for sure.
Thank you so much for talking to us. I appreciate you taking the time. Were there any visual inspirations that you had for this film?
We actually used a lot of PTA movies, so think about Boogie Nights or just any of those type of movies. We wanted it to feel really dark, so then the absurdity really stuck out.
Oh, I like that. What does it mean to have a film of yours premiere at South by Southwest?
I mean, this experience has been so surreal. This is my debut feature, so it just means the world to be standing here, being at the Paramount. Yeah, I can't.
I'm so excited for you. Congratulations, and thank you so much for talking to us. I'm with Isaiah Lester, director of The Gutter. This was an idea written by your brother, and y'all collaborated. What is that collaboration process like when it's with a sibling?
The collaboration process between me and my brother started when I was born and he was 2. We've been doing stuff together and trying to make things together since we were very, very, very young. I think it could be oh no, it's annoying, it's a sibling, it's somebody who's so close to you. But I think that closeness helped us out because we kind of speak each other's language and we moved really fast because before he even finished a thought, I'd be I know, let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? So I would say for me, it felt like anything else. I always run stuff past him when I'm doing stuff and working on projects, and he does the same with me. So it was just like that, except we were in the same room this time.
Oh, I love that. My siblings and I are not the same way, so I'm jealous. You've worked on a lot of comedic pieces as far as television and film. Do you have any comedic influences?
Comedic influences, professionally? Man, professionally, I think it's the same people everybody say like Chris Rock and Larry David. But I think at the end of the day, both me and my brother would say our mom and our grandfather are both crazy people. And for instance, my grandfather was a security guard, and he would handcuff my brother to my cousin and be I lost the key. And it's horribly dark, but I feel that kind of stuff shaped our sense of humor. So I would have to say my grandpa. I would say that is my comedic influence.
I mean, I love the fact that you're drawing inspiration from life and taking family stories. What does it mean to have your film premiering at South by Southwest?
It's a dream come true, and I don't say that lightly. This is a moment I've thought about for a long time, premiering a movie. South by Southwest is a great festival. It's an honor to be entered into it and accepted into it. I just think it's great. I've never been to Austin before this, so I might be coming more frequently because it's dope. It's a dope city. It's just dope. It's a really great moment.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for talking with us, and I really look forward to seeing your film.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
Welcome to South by Southwest. You've been here before. What do you love most about coming to this festival?
South by Southwest is one of my favorite festivals because it's got the best of everything. Best food, best music, best movies. I feel where other film festivals take themselves very seriously, South by really celebrates what we love about movies. The action, the drama, the comedy, and this is a movie, The Gutter, that is kind of a perfect festival film because it's just incredibly funny. And I feel I've been to other festivals where comedy movies play and they don't play. And so it's great to be in an audience that gives a standing ovation, like last night with Dev Patel's movie, a standing ovation. I saw Good Boys here, and it killed. I was Booksmart. It's a festival of movies that I want to see.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much for saying that. And You are a master of comedy. You've done so, like me personally saying that to you.
I love it.
You don't have to accept
All
it.
right, like,
Who are some of your comedic influences?
oh my gosh, my comedic influences. I mean, I think to me, like Adam Sandler is somebody that continues to make me laugh. I just saw his taping of his brand new special. He's been kind of testing out material over at Largo in Los Angeles, and to know that this guy is at the top of his game, making movies that everyone sees, and that he's still going out and like workshopping material, trying to do a stand-up special, and you don't have to. That blows my mind. The same way for like Will Ferrell, like who continually just tries interesting and weird stuff. I feel like that to me is the thing that is so exciting. You know, when you see these people that are like, oh, I'm not trying to fail, but it's like I am risking a lot to go out there and try stuff. That's always really exciting. I feel like I always want to do that. I always want to like kind of continue to try new things and not worry about like what the perception is, you know?
Tell me about your character in this film and what drew you to play him.
Yeah, well, so Isaiah and Yassir, who wrote and directed the film, they are hilarious. And Yassir and I worked on Black Monday together, and he called me up and he was like, hey, I'm doing this movie. Do you want to be in it? Before he could even finish a sentence, I was like, yeah, I'm in. I don't care, because I know that Yassir and Isaiah are the funniest. And reading the script, it was amazing. And to me, it's like one of the first laugh out loud comedies that I've seen in a theater in recent memory. I mean, I can't even think of the last time I was like crying laughing watching it. It's like Dumb and Dumber meets Kingpin.
Oh, that's quite a company.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I'm with Paul Reiser, cast of The Gutter. Tell me about your character and how you got involved with the film.
I was sent the script, and it really, really made me laugh. I said, count me in. It was a very different role and a very different movie. It's the kind of movie you don't see too often, just really balls out funny, with a lot of irreverence and stuff that you make you go, ooh, really? They're going to say that? So it was great fun. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it now for the first time.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Ask me how it came out yet.
You have such an incredible resume. You've been in the industry for a while. What is it that you're looking for in scripts and characters in order to take them on?
That's a good question. You know, it can be any number of things. This one just really made me laugh. Sometimes you go, oh, that's a great role, or gee, the role's not great, but the story's great, or gee, the movie stinks, but it's in France. You know, it can be any number of things. In this case, it was in LA, and it was really funny and great people involved. I said, sure, let's go do that.
Amazing. So what do you love most about South by Southwest?
Believe it or not, this is my first time here. I was at the Austin Film Festival in October with a different film, a film that I produced. But this is my first time, and so far, I love it. I love Austin. It's a great town.
What do you love about Austin?
It's just cool. It crackles with cool. People are cool. The food is great. The music is great. It's just like, you know, you're doing well with your city.
I'm with Rel Battle, cast of The Gutter. Tell me a little bit about your character.
My character is a wild guy. He's off the chain. He's nobody says off the chain anymore, but he's just a wild dude, man. He's very energetic. He's like a hotep. He's very into anything cultural and black, and he just kind of keeps the base for the show. And he plays Shameik's character, one of his close friends. So it's gonna be a fun time today.
Do you have any comedic idols?
This is great. I'm just looking at the numbers.
Oh.
Sorry.
I did my research. I'm doing my job.
Comedic idols. I mean, all of them. I mean, for television as well, you know, the Wayans brothers were always great. Eddie Murphy was always great. The fantastic Jim Carrey. You know, these are guys we always look to try to emulate and to be like on camera. We're failing miserably, but hopefully one day we can get there. That's the goal.
You have got some great TV under your belt, most notably your role of Isaiah in Killing It. Does your preparation differ for films versus television?
I think comedy's always weird because you can kind of freestyle and improv stuff away. You can kind of change the script a little bit, more dramas or more, you know, along the lines of what was written. But Yassir's my buddy, so we kind of just got to go up and play every day. So I don't think I did one line right on this project. But he kept filming, so I'm lucky to still even be here.
What does it mean to have your film premiere at South by Southwest?
This is amazing. This is one of the best festivals for film, television, for comedy, for documentary, so it's exciting. I've never been here as an actor. I'm a stand-up, so I've been here for the comedy version. So it's good to be on this side of the street for the first time. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for talking to us. Yeah.
Thank you.
This started out as a short film.
Yes.
Tell me about the journey of getting this film made as a feature.
I mean, honestly, it was like a short that we did. Like, my wife played the Skunk character in the short. My friend Rel who's in the movie also, played the Walt character. And we just kind of like gave it to agents and people who were like, hey, is this like a thing? And everyone was like, literally no, it is not a thing. And we're like, okay. So I kind of just like, metaphorically put it in the drawer for a few years. And like, I swear to you, like, days before COVID like really hit, my wife was like, why don't you just like go back to that bowling thing? I just thought it was so funny. Like, you just need to write it out so people get like a little bit more of the flavor. And I was like, okay. So I wrote it. Again, none of us were doing anything. We all thought we were going to be in the house for like 48 hours or whatever. Then, so we made it, so I wrote it, and then Jared Hess, who wrote and directed Napoleon Dynamite with his wife Jerusha, I handed it to them just to see. I was just like, is this funny? I don't care if, like, I'm not asking for help or anything. It's just, is this funny? And he was like, I love this so much. Your brother's an actual director, so I'll help you produce it, but your brother has to co-direct with you, which is like my dream. Like, me and my brother have done literally everything together. And so then it was, again, years of more people saying no. And Jared gave us our producer, Liz, and she made it happen. She had connections at Village Roadshow who funded the movie and was our studio, and now we're here, so.
What does it mean to have your film premiere at South by Southwest?
I mean, it's, to me, quite literally perfect. There were so many other festivals that people tried to push on us or say, like, you should do this. This is the prestigious one, blah, blah, blah. But number one, like, South by Southwest is prestigious. I've come here for comedy for a few years, and also there's no other crowd that will be like this crowd. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, unless we went to, like, I don't know, maybe Slam Dance, but, like, Austin's just its own thing to begin with. Texas is its own thing, and we really thought that, like, there's no one else who, it is going to sound a little pretentious, but this festival in particular has the best mix, I think, of, like, highbrow intelligence and also just, like, we're alcoholics, you know what I mean? And so, like, we just wanted to get that kind of crowd, because that is what the movie is that, like, for every dumb thing, there's a smart thing, and every smart thing, there's a dumb thing.
For every smart thing.
I appreciate you talking to us. Congratulations. I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Have a good one. I should do that.
You punch me.
Hey, I'm Kelsey with South by Southwest. With you. Welcome back. You are not a stranger to South by Southwest. What does it mean to bring your films here?
Oh, it's so exciting. I mean, this is the first film festival I ever went to 10 years ago this weekend. And it is very special to me. I love Austin. There's something about this festival and this place in particular that it feels very dreamy and exciting, and like there's something very accepting about Austin. It just always feels so supported, and I love it here. And to have a movie like this that I'm so proud of, I'm so excited to watch it with an audience. I'm so excited.
So you've seen it?
I've seen it, but I haven't seen it with an audience. It's hard to watch a comedy by yourself. You need people. Totally.
For sure. Tell me about your character and what inspired you to play her.
Okay. Well, I play Skunk, okay? What inspired me to play her was this brilliant script written by these two brilliant freaks, Yassir and Isaiah. I read the script. I laughed out loud the whole way through it, reading it, which is really rare. Even for funny things, you rarely are laughing. I was reading parts of it out loud to my husband. You gotta hear this part. I just couldn't believe how funny it was. Am I allowed to say a bad word? Yes. I who cares, right? You can cut it. I texted my agent, this is the most batshit insane script I've ever read. I need to meet these guys. even if it's not for me, even if they don't want, I don't know, but I just need to meet them. I love them. And then we have, like a long Zoom where we all just sort of fell in love, and it was just on. It was on. We shared a brain. And Skunk is a bit outside of my wheelhouse or comfort zone, which is exciting and scary, but I really knew from the jump that Yassir and Isaiah had my back, and I really trusted them, and I really felt like whatever I was like, you got me. Whatever, like, you got my back. I know I'm going to sort of veer outside of my lines, and I feel okay about it because I trust them so much.
I love the trust between the cast and crew. It really seems like it was a fun project to work on.
Yeah. And there were a lot of days that Susan or any of us, Shameik, Paul, we'd go up to Yassir and Isaiah and just point to a part in the script and be like, you sure? We're going to say this today? We want to say this? Okay, let's do it. And watching it all, they have a vision.
What makes you think that this film is such a good match for South by Southwest, and why do you like coming here?
I think that it's a film that's going to appeal to people who have a very open mind and who have a great sense of humor and are kind of quirky. And I think of South by Southwest as having young people, a lot of young people. And also there are so many indie films here. It doesn't have the corporate feeling of definitely Cannes or some of these places that are so heavy with advertisement, and you feel that pressure and all of that. I just feel very loose here, and that people, I saw a great documentary about New Orleans and the Zulu Kings the other day. When I landed, I went straight, a friend of mine had produced it, and I just had my mind blown. I didn't know a lot of that information, whatever. And you can find that here, And I walked back from where we had that screening and party. It was about because I'm a New Yorker, I walk a lot. And we walked all the way down 35 minutes, from across the river. And I felt perfectly safe, except for people on their scooters that maybe were going too fast. But so I just think it's, where to be in Texas if you're going to be in Texas.
The same way. Thank you so much for chatting with us. I appreciate it.
Yes, we're gonna take questions. But we want to introduce our cast and some of the crew. So first of all, lead Walt the man, Shameik Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Come on out, Shameik. Sorry. Then up next, Skunk, the funniest lady in the whole world, Darcy Carden, ladies and gentlemen.
And a guy who I hope will be my dad after this plays Angelo Powers, Paul Reiser. Dad?
Daddy.
Papa?
Thank you.
Literally one of our lifelong friends who has become truly our family, played Brother Candy. Make some noise for Rel Battle, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. This next guy did us just the biggest favor of just being a fun little cameo in our film, but he literally knocked it out of the park, one of our favorite scenes. Paul Scheer, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Up next, we have our phenomenal director of photography. This movie truly exists in the way that it does because of her. Veronica Boza, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I could play this out, or I could just say, with no further ado, Susan Sarandon, ladies and gentlemen.
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Me too, man. Thanks. Thanks, buddy.
So, questions?
Next?
Are you starting, or is it no? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I gotta ask, why bowling?
Why bowling? This is not an exaggeration. Me and Isaiah, and the poorest we ever were in our adult lives, which is a differentiation from childhood. Also poor.
Yeah.
But
And maybe after this too.
Yeah.
In the future poors. Yeah.
But in early adulthood, we just had no money, and the only thing we could do is play $2 games of bowling at this alley. We live in LA, so I live kind of near it. Isaiah would like trek from like Burbank, North Hollywood, and we would just play 3 games of bowling because literally all we had was $6. And it was just so fun, and because it was a seedy bowling alley, and Isaiah always talks about this, and it really makes me laugh, like, it would be us who were just like adult losers, and then it would be like a birthday party, and then also Crips. Like, it was like...
Unless it was Bloods night.
Yeah, there was always...
Unless it was Bloods
to mix
night.
it up.
Yeah.
But one night in particular, it went our lane and then a birthday party on the far one, and the lane next to us was just Crips. And they just like kept talking about the crimes they did that day. And we were like, this feels crazy. Like, they were just like, yeah, and I shot him, and I ran around the back, and I stabbed her, and there's like, oh, a spare, you know? Like, and we were just like, what? So we were just laughing about it all night, and I finally, I just sat down one day, and I was like, I'm gonna try and see if that's an idea, and that's kind of where it came from.
So I'm going to go to some audience questions. So, as a question from Laurie Coker, were there scenes or jokes cut that were deemed too much?
Excuse me?
Yeah, I didn't hear the
question. Were there any scenes that were cut that were deemed too much?
Yeah.
The question is really like, what were the scenes that were cut?
I'll say this. My literal favorite joke in the movie, it might be both of our favorite jokes, I don't know, but Darcy says maybe, I think, the funniest thing in the history of film, and everyone was like, get rid of that.
Yeah, we can't say that. There was a lot. There was a lot.
There's a lot. There's like stuff with our friends and other scenes with Darcy that I mean this sincerely, I've said this before, we've said this before. She's just like a comedic atomic bomb, and like everything around her gets funnier. Like we are so indebted to her, truly. And because of that, like, you're just laughing too much, and you're like, oh my God. And like watching it back, I was like, she's really obsessed with pasta. Like, she's always talking about stroganoff and spaghetti. I was like, where did these riffs come from?
I'm starving.
But yeah, there were a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we got to keep a lot, but there were plenty that not only did we cut, but we had to like desperately rearrange because it was the only thing we had. Was the joke we couldn't use in the movie.
Right, yeah.
There were also a lot of like the morning of shooting something, I would walk up to them and I would point to a part in the script and I would be like, oh, are we really going to say this today? And they'd be like, yeah, we're
doing it. We're excited.
And a lot of that didn't make it into the movie, but in our hearts, we remember. Never forget.
Well,
was there a joke? I feel like I watched one cut where you guys ran over a cat. Like they're driving in the car, and they just hit a cat, and they just keep on going. But you hear a man.
It was a dog at first. It was a dog, and they were like, that makes me too sad. And then we changed it to a cat.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of it.
Yeah.
Everybody hates cats.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, you know, to you're like running over a dog, hilarious, you know, because it's not a real dog. And then we watched it in silence with people, like, oh, right, yeah. And we have dogs.
Pretend it's your dog.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good lead-in to ask, was there much improv on the film? Because obviously there is somewhat improvisation going on, but maybe this is a question for the cast. So
Sure.
Did you have a lot of creative freedom?
How's that roast? You like rotisserie chicken?
Yeah, I mean, the script was amazing and perfect, and we all did this movie because we read the script and we couldn't stop laughing. But the guys did let us play a lot, and we were also, I mean, mostly we were just trying to make you guys laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes we would hear Yassir's like, and we'd know we like nailed it. Right? Yeah.
That's because Isaiah's laugh is too low.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I go, and he goes, yeah. So it's like this range of frequency.
I'd rather have my laugh than his laugh, but that's okay. We can move on.
Okay.
Susan, you made up all of your lines, didn't you?
I can't hear you down there. What?
Yeah.
What?
some improv stuff?
It was entirely improvised. Everything you
Totally
said was
improvised.
She never read the script. Yeah.
Well, I know we're like half joking, but I will say, like, you know, we didn't know who was going to do this movie, honestly, because it was essentially me just writing something and being like, who cares? It'll never get made. And then, like, all these wonderful people did it. And when you have people this funny, you can almost just kind of throw the script out the window. It's just like, look, these are the things that are important. You roll a strike. You're happy he rolled one.
Yeah, it's like, it was kind of like 50-50. There was improv, but like everybody brought something to the table and had suggestions and stuff, and we were down to try anything.
Yeah, and just, again, one more special shout out specifically to dear Susan Sarandon. Me and Isaiah love telling this story, but we met her for lunch, like, in the middle of New York, and Isaiah always makes me laugh because the way he was sitting, he could see more of the sidewalk, and as we're, like, talking to her, people are literally just walking past going, like, did she adopt 2 Africans? You know, like...
I'm like, please adopt me. I need it.
But she came, the moment she said yes to us, she called us, she was like, this is what I think I should look like, I should be smoked. And I mean, she had so many good ideas. That is the film. Like, I don't think we had a character in terms of like what their look was. We had a little bit of an attitude, and Susan absolutely formed that character.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
like the villain. It's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's my legacy role.
So this is a good lead into a question from Courtney Bailey, who wants to know what inspired the costume design of the film.
I mean, like, truth be told, we were, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, we truly were just, we would look at the scenes, and it's like, okay, this one's Houston. Spacesuit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I wish we were smarter than that. New York, we were like 50 Cent. Like, that was kind of it. Florida, he's wearing an orange ski mask. Like, there's no intelligence behind it, if that's the question.
Remember, you told me every scene you're gonna get progressively more African. Every single time.
Yes.
Like Dashiki took just a robe for
Yeah, and I was gonna say, it's like we just kind of did it based on the characters. Like, when Walt and Skunk get more money, it's like, what do 2 people like that do with money? You know what I mean? They don't put it into a trust. They don't invest it. They buy the most expensive thing on ASOS that they can buy. You know what I mean?
That's exactly
So that's kind of how we did it.
Yeah, sorry.
So we got a question from Justin Peters. For the cast, what was the bonding process like? Was there a bonding process?
Yeah, it's pretty quick for me. I mean, I really leaned on Darcy, and honestly, it's really easy. Everybody's super professional, you know, really good at what they do, as you guys saw, and that was the process for me.
What was the question?
It was what was the bonding process
What
like?
was the bowling process?
Oh, I thought it was bonding.
Bonding, Rel, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
bowling.
Leave.
Bowling too.
I think it started with you guys. They were such good leaders, such good friends, such good, trustworthy. We trusted them so much, and it was so. I mean, God, I feel too cheesy talking about it, but everybody very maybe because you guys are family. It felt very family. It felt.
It did.
Yeah, it was.
And it also felt the joy of you guys making this. There was this air of, I can't believe we're making this movie.
Yeah, I mean, that was the feeling. Yeah.
Which, by the way, it feels on every movie. But it and we all fell in love with the script, and so it was just fun, and bonding was really easy. And
I had only bowled with bumpers. I'm not ashamed of that. But then I had to learn to like really bowl. And so I went with a friend in Brooklyn to a place that's falling down. But anyway, I don't know, how many of you bowls? A lot of people bowl? I never knew that, I know you had to get it down there, but I never understood that you're supposed to like go like this and then put this foot behind you. So I bowled for a day and threw my ass out completely, and I couldn't walk for like 2 days after that. So I decided that basically I would just come up with a lot of smoking things that I would do. And that was my strategy for bowling.
See? I told you. I love bowling.
So let's do it. I mean, I want to know, who is the best bowler amongst you? Like, who's the champ?
I think it was Shameik.
Yeah, definitely
Shameik was naturally really good.
Shameik's good.
Again, another weird shout out. We just kept, as we were making the movie, just find out he would have another incredible talent like dancing, and we're like, should you do that? You know? And then he would just bowl once and be like, oh wow, I didn't know the pins actually fall out of the lane too. And we're like, what? Like, you're incredible. So anytime he just like showed a talent, we're like, okay, Walt also does that.
Like, what were some of your favorite things about shooting the film? Like, what really got you jazzed up in the production process?
I mean, I think it's just making a super funny movie. It's like, I've never made a horror movie, and I've never made like a war drama, but it's got to be better. It's got to be better making just a straight up comedy.
Yeah.
It kept the set very light. Again, working with my brother was really cool. Working with this cast was great, and also getting to know our crew and working with them. I know this all sounds like very basic and cheesy, but it's the truth. It's like something like, I'm a very honest person. I'll gladly tell you if I don't like people. Like, I'll gladly do it. I love all these people. It's crazy. I think that's what it was for me, is that like the expectation every single day was to laugh, which is very cool.
Yeah. And, you know, we had hard days, but even then, like, you know, truth be told, like, every single person up here is a star. So it's just like, hey, these are the 22 days. And they're like, you have 4 hours. I'm like, okay, make it work. So, but even then, just, you know, reiterating everything Isaiah said, these people are just like, it's a fever dream for sure.
But I'll also say that you two they're such great writers, and they have such a great vision, but they are the biggest supporters of talent, and they love to laugh, and that's the rare thing. It's like, you can top them, they can top you, they already have something that's really good, and they have a vision, so it feels like it's completely protected, but they're open, and they just want to make it good and fun. It's a vibe that you often don't find.
Totally agree. So supportive, so loving. It was the best vibe. It was the best damn month. We all just had a really lovely time in that disgusting, moldy bowling alley where we all got some, I'm sure in 20 years we'll all find out we have cancer from that. And that's okay.
But
as long as you guys vote with the little thing up there, it'll be worth it.
And you were a great audience. You just kept laughing, and you missed some of the funny lines, so you better see it a second time.
Yes.
Yeah!
So Brittany Schultz wants to know about the Pornhub logo. And I think a lot of us want to know that too.
Okay, I'll take this one, yeah. So, first of all, objectively, all of us up here love Pornhub. I think, no, just kidding. Sorry, don't. I'm kidding. When I originally wrote the script, the 3 sponsors that they get were TJ Maxx, Pornhub, and Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Surprisingly, a lot of people said no. Who said yes? Pornhub. So we were like, they're getting a shout out. So we had jackets made, like they sent us, our producer Liz Destro, who, if you guys can give her a hand one more time. Look, I don't want to know how, but Liz had a connection to Pornhub, and she
couldn't wait to tell us about it. She couldn't wait.
We didn't even know. She was just like, I know someone at Pornhub. And we're like, okay.
Oh, we're not even talking about that.
Yeah.
It's the original streamer, right? It's the original streamer.
Right,
Pornhub is visionary.
They
are, and they were visionary. They're responsible for a lot.
They haven't, and they don't cancel anything. Everything stays on platform.
Wow.
So, say all that to say that Liz was like, I actually know someone. When she read the script, she was like, I actually know someone there. And so we had to change Flamin' Hot Cheetos to Spicy Hot Milk. TJ Maxx had to change, and I still was like, I was like in the headspace of like, you know, Marshalls or blah, blah, blah. And my brother was just like, cash for chains for cigarettes. And I was like, yep. And so it was the perfect first sponsor to see them like holding their shirts up. It is, I'll say, seeing it that big, you're like, we might be stupid. But it was awesome.
But I do love the fact that the answer to the question is what? How did you do it? Is you asked them, they said yes.
Right, yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll say, Pornhub will say yes.
Yeah. Anybody in this audience could be like, I'm making a movie, and they're like, yeah, whatever you want, you can have it.
So I do want to ask like one final question about like some of the inspiration for the film, whether that's other films or just anything that really triggered you.
Yeah, I'll talk about writing inspiration, and then he'll talk about directing inspiration. Writing, clearly, Kingpin is just one of the funniest movies of all time, and I like to say that like you can make a funny bowling movie and not in your head have some standard is to try and meet that, There was that. There's also, truly, format-wise, it's Happy Gilmore, Walt. Walt is Happy. Darcy's Carl Weathers. Linda is Christopher, whatever his last name is. But yeah, it was that, and I mean this sincerely, because it's also COVID, and me and my brother and Rel, and Paul, actually, because we were still doing Black Monday at the time, we just, truly our relationships are built on laughter, we're just constantly, and I know people make the jokes, if you could see our text thread, we'd be canceled, and it's we would be in jail, so writing-wise, it was just I was I just want to make something with all my friends. Me and Darcy had done a live show together, and she was just so funny and cool, and she was on The Good Place at the time, I think, and she came up to me and shook my hand, and I was just she's trying to big time me. Get it?
Here,
but she was just being genuine, and I was like, what is happening? No one has ever been nice to me. And we talked to her, and just a quick version of the story is that we really loved the movie Punch Drunk Love, and we loved Adam Sandler's character in that. We're he's just weird, and the weird makes it funny. And we told Darcy that when we were meeting her, we really love the character of Barry Egan, and she literally held up a painting of Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love that was sitting on her desk, and we're it's her. It's literally her. So from writing, that's where it came from. But
and visually, we're big Paul Thomas Anderson fans, and I think ultimately what me and Yassir's goal was to make a visually pleasing comedy, which don't really exist. They're very seldomly exist. And me and Veronica and Yassir worked together to make just kind of, pretty frames and nice camera movement. And we referenced Boogie Nights a lot and all sorts of other movies. So I don't think there was a one direct influence. The influence was just to make it look as good as possible as for a comedy with this writing.
Well, but I would, a lot of times Isaiah and Veronica would meet without me. I don't know why I wasn't invited.
We never told them you were meeting.
They would have a birthday party. But I would come back and they would have all these incredible things. There's just subtle things in the movie that only Walt has dolly shots until a certain point. Susan's only on a zoom lens for most of the movie until she wins, and those shots end up switching with one another. And just little subtle things like that really do I know it's weird to say this when we're talking about Pornhub also, but add an artistry to it. But I couldn't be happier. I could not have been happier to have this guy captaining the ship, and Veronica captaining the ship. They're brilliant, and I hope they both continue to just soar.
Well, I'm sorry we do have to wrap it up there, but I just want to say thank you so much for this hilarious film and you all for being here. Thanks
for coming, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Cast and crew one more time, y'all.
Yeah. Vote for us for that thingy.
Yeah.
Hit the QR code thingy.
Get a tattoo of the QR code and just scan it over and over.
Send the QR code to your friends and family. They can figure it out.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
That does it for red carpet coverage for the premiere of The Gutter. Stay tuned for more films throughout the week.